One of the most controversial trucks ever to exist is the Cybertruck. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the crazy design and how this actually got launched to production. Whether you love it or you hate it, you have to admit there's nothing else on the road that remotely resembles what this Cybertruck is. Let's talk about it. This truck is hated and also loved by so many people, but there's one thing you can't deny. This truck gets more attention than 99.9 of anything else on the road. I was talking to the owner and he was telling me this truck actually gets even more attention than his Lamborghini Huracan, which I think is an insane proposition for a truck. If you're new to the channel and you love cool cars like this Cybertruck and Huracan, please consider subscribing or liking the video. It does so much for the YouTube algorithm and I'll be forever grateful. The Tesla Cybertruck is an amazing truck that's not only very capable, but it's bulletproof and it has some incredible technology built into it. I think a lot of people did not think this truck would actually come into production. I remember when I first saw it at the Tesla shareholders meeting, I thought it was a meme. I thought Elon was memeing us all. But hey, he actually did it and he brought it to production, which I think is amazing. First, let's talk about the looks. Now, again, this is definitely going to be something where you either love it or you hate it. But one thing's for sure, there's no mistaking this for any other car or truck on the road. Coming in at the front, this truck is really, really cool looking. Of course, the famous stainless steel makes this truck actually bulletproof, which I think is just totally radical for a street truck. But starting at the front, you have some really cool design features. You have this light bar which runs all across the front of the truck and looks super menacing. This truck is meant to kind of go against the grain, and I think it does that really, really well. Almost every single body panel on this truck is stainless steel, and you see that in the hood and the front, as well as the entire side of the car. I think the only panels that aren't stainless steel is the front bumper, the little pieces on the side, the skirt, and the rear bumper. Everything else, you have literally bulletproof stainless steel, which I think is ridiculous. So something we just stumbled across, and I think, again, is just crazy to have on a production vehicle. If you see this straight edge right here, just imagine someone getting hit with that. You'd be not so alive, let's just say. But I think it's just crazy that this truck is a production vehicle. It does not make sense, and I think that's the thing that makes it so cool. When this truck was first introduced, no one thought it was going to actually look like it, but when it rolled off the production line and is now available for customers, a lot of people were eating their words. This truck looks like no other truck or car on the road. Just look at it. It's sort of like a wedge shape. The funniest thing, as we're filming this, it's a bright and sunny day and the sun is reflecting off the thing like crazy and actually giving me a sunburn. This vehicle just embodies the word ridiculous to the highest degree. Coming into the front, you have the largest windshield ever fitted to a production vehicle, and of course that's accompanied with the largest windshield wiper ever in a production vehicle. You have one single windshield wiper that goes over the entire front windshield and attempts to take all of the rain away from it. This truck has so many straight lines, I really don't think there's a single curved line on this entire truck. Coming in close, you just see this amazingly sharp stainless steel that I really don't get how they passed it into production. But just look at the side of this. It's almost a flat panel of stainless steel. When this truck was first released, you had amazing looking aero caps for the wheels. Unfortunately, none of them were actually delivered with the aero caps because of a few malfunctions where they couldn't put them on production vehicles. I believe they're still to come, but even if you just look at the tires, they integrate perfectly with those aero wheels, and I think will make the car look even more like it's a spaceship. Looking at the Cybertruck from the side view, you really see the design language that is so unique. You almost have a triangle at the very top that I think just looks really, really unique and so cool compared to the other trucks on the road. Of course, as this is a Tesla, you have a ton of technology. You can see the cameras right here, and the car is just littered with cameras everywhere. The owner was telling me when you're turning right or left, you actually see a bunch of cameras on the inside that make this car really easy to drive. Every single thing about this truck is unique. For example, all of the windows are just very, very odd shapes. Even this little quarter window right here is really, a triangle that I've just never seen before on a single truck. And then you look at the other windows on the side, the way that they're cut and the way that they match the side of the car is just really, really unique. Of course, you had the famous moment when Elon Musk threw a metal ball into the window, claiming that the windows were so bulletproof, and it actually shattered, which I think just kind of adds to the lore and the meme of what this truck represents. But you do have some really interesting design features. For example, all trucks need fender flares to cover their wheels. Now, Tesla has done this in a very cool Tesla style. You have these sort of wheel flares, which actually look like they're designed for this truck, while a lot of other trucks just have ones that look like they're just randomly stuck on. Integrated into those things are the cameras right there. You get all of the technology that a typical Tesla would offer. The doors and the side of this truck follow the rest of the design language, which means you get flat stainless steel. Now, this stainless steel is legit. You can actually shoot a 9mm gun at this car and it will remain intact, meaning that this is one of the only bulletproof trucks or cars that you can buy on the entire market. To open up this amazing truck, obviously you don't have any door handles that would break up this flat stainless steel design, but you actually have buttons right here that you can press and right here for the back seat. I think it's a really interesting thing. I wonder how it will hold up on the East Coast where you have frozen ice all over. I'm wondering how that will work, but I think in theory, the design is super cool. The rear quarter panel and all the panels for that aspect are one piece stainless steel. That means each panel is pressed out and shaped to be exactly the way it looks, which leads to a super, super strong outer body of the vehicle. Coming along the back of this car, you're greeted with some other really cool design features. Of course, as is most of the car, you have a massive glass panel up top, and you can see it functions as a panoramic roof. Really, from the top angle of this car, almost everything is glass. One really interesting piece of stainless steel on this entire car is this piece right here. If you look, it's actually one piece that follows the entire roofline of the car. I think that must be really, really difficult to manufacture, but it just makes the car look really, really amazing. Tesla has integrated this sort of cover in the back so well. You have buttons for everything you need. With just a push of the button, you can open the entire cover, you can drop the truck bed, and it sort of shows just how usable this thing really is. Once you open it up, you see that you do have actually a window in the back, but once you close the tonneau cover, the window becomes completely obsolete, which I think is kind of funny. Something that's really cool about the Tesla Cybertruck is there's actually no door handles. Door handles, of course, would break up the side of this stainless steel. And I was just mentioning, we're in the sun today. Touching this thing, it's really freaking hot. So I don't know how they plan to do that. But as you can see, you also get a ton of fingerprints all along the side of this. And from my understanding, it's really, really difficult to get these out. But to open the door, you use this button right here. You give it a press, and we are brought to the inside of the car. As we get into the inside, you're immediately greeted with really nice vegan leather. This car is optioned with black and white vegan leather that I think go really well with the Cybertruck. Stepping in to the Cybertruck, you're greeted with everything you would really expect from a Tesla. And I think that's one of the really cool aspects about this, really crazy truck. It's such strange styling, such a massive weird thing on the road, but when you step inside, it feels like normal. It feels like a normal Tesla. You have everything you're familiar with the screen that comes in the Model 3. You have the technology of a Tesla, which is really, class leading. And you also have a really interesting steering wheel, which is actually steer by wire. So this is not connected to the wheels like most cars, but almost like a video game. When you turn the wheel left or right, it turns the front and the rear wheels without this actually being connected to any of the wheels, which I think is really, really cool. Something that's pretty funny about the Cybertruck, you actually have a tiny little rear view mirror, which does absolutely nothing. Because the back of the truck is closed, you cannot see a single thing out of this mirror, which I think is just hilarious and kind of goes along with the craziness of this truck. The inside is super strange. I'm not sure if this will come across on camera, but it seems like there's a football field out in front of me. I literally cannot even reach and touch the front of the windshield, which is just absolutely crazy. But the materials and the quality of everything in here is really top level. You have an interesting kind of textured material on the dash. You have nice white vegan leather, and everything that you touch and you feel is very, very simple, but just kind of works. You have a ton of storage in here. You have nice little cup holders, and it's really everything you would come to expect with a modern Tesla. Something really funny about the Tesla Cybertrucks that I don't think a lot of people have covered is actually they all had a recall. So you pretty much had to come into Tesla, and the issue was that this gas pedal would get stuck down on the ground and stuck floored, and people would be driving into walls. So what they did to secure this gas pedal is they actually put a little rivet right there. So that is all the recall is just this tiny little rivet, which I think is so funny. So the inside of the Cybertruck is a lot different than most other trucks on the market. You actually get quality. The seats are the first thing that we can speak about. They're actually really soft. They're nice fake leather, but then again, it's just really soft, nice seating area to be in. And you actually have this panoramic sunroof too, which I think is just really, really cool and makes this truck a lot more airy compared to what it looks like on the outside. Coming to the rear of the Cybertruck, you have the same thing, a nice little button, and the door extends to you, and you get a pretty good amount of room in here. It's basically the same as the front interior, but you do have a nice little screen in the back, which I think allows the passengers to control the air and some other stuff like that. But it's really everything you would expect. It's a nice truck and definitely a great place for 4 or 5 people. I hope you enjoyed this review of this amazingly controversial truck. Thank you a million times to the owner Milad for letting me check out his awesome, awesome brand new truck. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe for many more cool cars like this. Have a great day.